easy on gate.
Well, this guy did not work the way I wanted it to. In theory, it'd have been great, but we keep having issues with it shutting down for stupid reasons, and it's all in Chinese on the screen, so I can't really tell why. We actually were checking the two-step, and we were in the middle of checking the two-step, and the water pump just said, you know what, I'm not going to run right now. This thing did it, so ended up with coolant, or not coolant, but water all over the ground, so yeah, just wired it in directly and bypassed this thing. We'll have to figure this out another day. We don't need to create more headaches, so we're going to see. Hopefully the cooling works without this guy, and the bigger radiator and fans help. Back home with a laundry list of things to do, so that's not ideal. What first? Alternator. With the new fans, alternator's not charging, so we got to get a new alternator. Also on the list, catch can. Probably time for a burn down tank. If you guys don't know what that is, you're going to learn with me. But I'm going to try something first. First, we're going to get this hood off. Oh, yeah. Oil everywhere. So why is this happening? I'll tell you why. Because we have no baffles inside our valve covers on the bottom side of these. So all we're doing is pushing straight oil out of those because there's nothing to block the mixture. So either need to baffle these and then put something like some steel wool between the baffle and here so that most of the oil gets knocked out, or I've got another idea that I'm going to try. Let's talk about a couple things when it comes to oil catch cans and breather systems. So here's what I don't like about valve cover breathers. You've got this on the top of the valve cover on both sides, right? It's all fine and dandy, even if you have it baffled. Think about this for a second. All of your oil gets pushed up into the heads, up into the top of them through your push rods, and then you have drain back holes. Well, where do you think all of that crankcase pressure comes up through when you vent it on your valve covers, especially in a boosted application? All of that air comes up through the oil drain back holes in the valve covers. So then you get more oil that can't drain back because you've got air coming up through there that's trying to escape out the valve cover breathers. So I think you might see where I'm going. So we're going to try venting on the valley on this. So the valley on this manifold actually has a breather on the back of it, and it's got a baffle already on the inside of it. So what I'm going to try to do is shove some steel wool down into the hole for the breather, and then I'm going to just use that to vent it out the valley, and then try to plug off the covers. I know that you're probably going to say, okay, well, you're not going to be able to ventilate enough out and all that stuff. Okay, great. But I would rather have the oil return from the top of the heads down into the oil pan a lot better. So I'm going to try, you can probably see it right down there. Maybe not, right there. There it is. That guy right there, that silver cap, that's actually a -10 port on the back of this head, or on the back of the intake manifold that I'm going to vent from. So I'm going to take it off of that valve cover and I'm going to put it on that. Oh yeah. Oh, lunch. Oh, sorry. Got these guys here. He's here. It's our puke tank. What's that? Kegos and blue moose. Oh yeah. Get some of that. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. A little missing out. Oh, dang. Oh, ugly as hell, but it's on there. Got some baffles. So we'll have another 10A in there. Then we'll have a 4A in there. And then we'll have our little guy here so we can check and see what's in there. And that will be this. Bam. Yep, I'm terrible at this, but we are giving it a shot. Oops, tungsten needs cleaning. Your boy is getting better and better. You can definitely tell I'm not a professional, but look at that. End weld versus there's some in the middle. And then there's the starting welds. We got better for sure. Look at there's some of the end welds too. Got pretty good by the end. So this is the deal. And I'll cut that tube once we get the trunk on. Just make sure that it's above there. But you can see it's a big tank. I do have to put a couple of tabs on the side of it for mounting it. I haven't decided how I'm going to mount that yet. But there it is. All of its glory. This is a cap. I welded on a situation right there. So at least we can look in and check and see how full it is. So excited. And it'll sit down a little bit more because there's a drain fitting on the bottom. So it'll drop down a little bit. And we'll have both of our valve cover ports come here. And then we'll have transmission right there. I'm excited. We got our new vent line from the back of the intake manifold. Remember I was telling you we're going to try that out. So that goes all the way down through the car, back up to here. Puke tank is installed. This will get cut off with the height of the trunk. This is our check port. See how much is in there. We've got a drain port straight down to the bottom. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's a drain port right down there. And you can see how terrible my welding was. I blew a hole through it right next to it. And then this is our transmission vent that'll go right to that guy. So I have it where I want it now, I think. But before I can do anything else, I have to get this line connected to the transmission. So this one here, you can see is our dash 4. And that one will go straight down there to the top of the vent on the trans. But I had to take out this catch can. And this is the other line. It's on top of the transmission, but I have to take the bell housing off and then the trans blanket just to get to where this is on. So it's going to be involved. So I'm going to work on that now. I've got to get the parachute out of here. I got to get that all out. And then I got a few rivets to drill from the bell housing. Once I get the bell housing off, then I get the blanket off. It's going to be a process. Puke tank done for now. Transmission line, oil line. This will have to get cut, but everything's mounted, ready to go. There's our deal so we can check it, spot check, see what the level's at. Yep, my welds are terrible, but it holds. And I'm going to change the drain on the bottom of this. I'm going to put a quarter turn valve on it. So, but I got all that put back together. I got the lines. You can see you got those two right there. They go down there all the way to the back. I'm sure we'll have some. Oh yeah, still got some cleanup to do. Remove this catch can. You can see there's my old bracket for it, but that you can see is wet. Everything in here, it's just got oil dripping off of it from the catch can overflowing. Got a new alternator on, 200 amp bad boy to help with our amp draw for the new fans and everything else. So we're ready to rock, I think. Hopefully we can get some more things buttoned up. I did order some new suspension stuff. I'll show you guys something. So there is a substantial, you can see my hand up in there, substantial amount of room on top of the tire, between the top of the wheel well. I mean, it's that much room right there. And we're limited on how far down we can go because of our anti-roll bar. It's the one that came on the car, and it's mounted right by the upper control arm mount right up here. And it should be behind the axle. So I've got a kit coming so we can move it. So instead of it being here, it'll be back this way. So I'll have to do that once I get that. I'll hopefully have that this week.